Hello, everybody. It's the good old Big Ugly Outlaw King from down here on Henson Creek. Now, I'm going to tell you folks some truth, some God's honest truth that you all desperately need to hear. The fundamental difference between myself and the rest of the Henson Creek YouTube gang, except for the Eagle guy, Eagle Rock Outdoor or whatever. I don't know him. Don't have no information to say anything negative about him. And from what I heard, he's willing to pray for me. Seems like a decent dude to me. But anyway, let's go back to the other YouTubers, Titus and Stephanie and Aaron. You know, I get on here and I tell what I know. And I'm trying to prevent other children from the children that's already got hurt. I'm sorry to you all. To the animals that got screwed, I'm sorry for you all. Now, I get on here and tell the truth to prevent any more children from getting hurt by Titus Morris and Stephanie King. And you all can sit there and say, oh, well, Stephanie's pregnant. Stephanie isn't much. She wasn't much of a mother, or she wouldn't be breaking the judge's protective order on them children to keep them away from a child molester, Titus Morris. She wouldn't be breaking EPOs, placing her children in danger. And being that she was having an affair while she was married, while getting payment, makes her a whore. But you don't hear them getting on the internet and saying, oh, we were wrong. We were having an affair. While she was married, we were doing, sin, like always, because Titus, he loves the sin of sex of any kind. Because I can tell you all a lot more than just, children and horses. I can tell you a little bit more. I saw a video recently that'll make you sick about Titus, what he does. But anyway, I digress. If I say something on here that is wrong or misleading, and I find out about it, I'm the first one to get on here and make a video correcting that mistake, offering an apology, and asking for forgiveness. You don't hear that from these other YouTubers, Aaron. You don't hear Aaron Ants get on here and say, I'm sorry that I let your address get put on my channel, and I'm sorry that you and your family got death threats that started the whole thing between me and Aaron. You can blame Titus for, what his part of it was, but Aaron Ants, you had a part in it too. You're not innocent, but you never apologized. Now, I apologized. I never threatened you some because I didn't know which number was which. I was meaning it all for Aaron Ants. I didn't know which number was what, and Aaron knows that, but he'll angle it his way if he wants to, and I apologize for it. Titus give me $40, and that's the truth. But anyway, let's go on to Titus. Titus, when he got caught with the child molestation and the bestiality horse sex, he confessed to an extent after he was caught. And the only reason why he got, even confessed what he did confess is because the boy he taught to have sex with horses, the minor, that is pedophilia, he got caught. And then Titus panicked. But now whenever somebody asks him dates and times, he clams up. He don't know. But you don't hear him getting on the internet apologizing. You don't hear him getting on the internet saying he's not worthy of being a leader of anything, let alone a preacher, because he's not a preacher. He's lucky at best to be Christian. If he ever repents and asks for forgiveness and pays some consequences, then maybe he can start on the road to becoming, a leader of something. But, you don't hear him or Stephanie getting on here and saying, oh, we're sorry, even though evidence and witnesses have come forward about their affair. They don't get on here and say, oh, we were having an affair, we were living in sin while we were begging for y'all's money. We were telling everybody we were platonic so we could get you all to go fund us a divorce and go fund us a house and go fund us a church. But we're not going to apologize for it because they're not sorry. They're only wanting your money. They don't work for nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't get out and try to better themselves by working. They want you to give it to them. They want you to pay for their laziness. They want you to pay for them to sit around and do nothing. And they want to live like kings while doing it. That is God's honest truth. You people that say, oh, you're a slander. It ain't slander when it's the truth. It ain't slander when you're telling people and warning people about a pedophile. It isn't slander when you tell people that this man had 20 years worth of horse sex and lied to people for over 20 years, almost 20 years. But that ain't slander. That happens, folks. And most likely it's still happening. These people are sick. And then Connie Bright asking for $50,000 because, they need some more money. They've only went through $250,000 for nothing. And what do they got to show for it? A hidden house on property that they won't tell the truth about. Everything about them is a scam and a con. The people that believe in them, most of them are good people. And I hate to go against good people. I do. And I get told by their very own people, oh, they realize. Because it's wire fraud, Titus. It wouldn't have been wire fraud if you hadn't married Stephanie. But when you married her, as quick as you did, because it come real fast because she was pregnant, and that would also tip the hand of thoroughfare and let everybody know that she was having, an adulterous relationship. But that's why they got married in such a rush, because she was pregnant, and she didn't want everybody to find out she was pregnant while she was, supposed to be a pure wife. Folks, it ain't hard until they get on here and tell people the truth and ask for forgiveness and pay some consequences. Their words are as hollow as a daggone tree, or as hollow as Titus's head, because the boy ain't that smart. And, they're going to depend on GoFundMe and you other people to raise a child, because they're not going to do it themselves. She done proved that she's not worth much of a mother when she's laughing and going on breaking a judge's order to take them kids and let Titus have them. That is the God's honest truth. I lied to Titus and Stephanie. I boasted up my criminal history. When Titus asked me if I knew anybody to take care of Jeffrey Kane, I knew that if I didn't, that them kids and Mr. Kane would be gone or hurt. So I did lie, and I admitted to lying. But I done everything straight up before I even testified against Titus and Stephanie. I told them ahead of time, hey, I'm going to go tell what I know. Y'all are going to have to come clean, or I'm going to, going to come clean for you. And they know that, but they don't want you to know that. And Titus sits there and says, I hadn't even been bothering him. He knows since we went to court that last time, and I found out she was pregnant again. I said, well, I won't be, going by there and trying to cause no trouble or putting myself in a position to be in any trouble. So when I pass by, I either don't wave at all or I wave a little. And then he goes, oh, if you wasn't here, he'd probably jumped out and threatened me or rode down his window and threatened me. I don't care who's around. If I'm going to whip you or if I'm going to tell you something, I don't care who's around, Titus. You already know that too. If I'm going to whip your ass, I'm going to whip your ass. And if another child gets hurt, you're going to find out real quick. Just like what I told you in court, you and Stephanie in court in front of that judge, is exactly what I meant.